opportunities for India?
So at the outset, I have to compliment Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, the entire team, Director of NCPOR team for dedicating to the nation this new facility over here. And it also gives me an opportunity to share with you that this is one of the very few institutes of its kind in the entire world, and definitely the only one in the country. And considering the kind of emphasis that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is now giving to the blue economy, and it was he who not once but on two consecutive occasions from the ramparts of the Red Fort in his Independence Day address mentioned Deep Ocean Mission, which in other words is an indication of the fact that when India's economy grows further, now that from the fragile 5 we are 5, now we'll be 3 soon, and then we rise to the top by 2047 as Viksit Bharat, as most of us envisage. These are the sectors which are going to add value to our economy. We have a huge coastal area, more than 1,000 kilometers long, one of the longest in the world. 11,000 to be precise. It was never explored, or even if explored, it was underexplored by the earlier government. So thanks to Prime Minister Modi, he has awakened the countrymen, also the scientific fraternity, and therefore an institute like this is not only going to be serving the purpose of research, but it's also going to add hugely, A, to the economy of the country and thereby also the global economy, and B, don't forget that now we are living in an age of geopolitics, and geopolitics of ocean is a new subject under discussion. And as we move on, this is going to seize the thought process of many of the countrymen, also people across the world. And therefore, India is now ready to take the responsibility of being not only a global player in geopolitics of ocean, but also a global leader. And may I also mention a global guardian, for the very reason that the information obtained from here, the analysis obtained from here will help in disaster preparedness, also address the climate concerns of future, also study the weather patterns, not only confined to the shores of India, but the entire world. So I think in a single sentence, this is an institute which is going to become a medium of India emerging as a global player in ocean science and thereby also in the geopolitics of oceans.
It's live you has visit on the, it is India's first land?
Yes, absolutely. This is two of the facilities were inaugurated over here. One was the Polar Bhavan, which is of course spread over more than 11,000 square meters, costing about 55-60 crore. The other one, of course, as you rightly mentioned, is more exciting, Sagar Bhavan, which has an ice core lab facility where you have actually recreated the milieu of the Antarctica. We just now had the experience of visiting a part of it, so that we would be able to not only do research for ourselves, in fact, we would be helping other fraternities also. Like, for example, now in life sciences, we are dwelling into the mysteries of genes. How a gene would behave in a certain temperature, how a gene could be preserved in these sub-minimal temperatures. Similarly, we are also now into the mutagenesis of plants. So there also. Similarly, also in the chemicals, how it would behave. And therefore, this is going to be covering an entire gamut, not only confined to ocean science, but it is also going to cater to the scientific fraternity working in the other streams of science as well. And therefore, as I said, this institute is going to emerge as a very important center of not only research, but also a hub of future economy of India.